It is said that an average South African household uses electricity in the following ways: 17% for lighting, and refrigerators with 8%, cooking and geysers too, even the electronics you leave on standby mode when you go to bed at night.
Electricity makes the world go round.
Yeah.
Green light, I agree. Orange light, pause. So who do you think is responsible for load shedding? Red light, think about that.
The government.
Yeah. That's poor planning.
Poor planning, yeah.
That's it.
Because as far as I've understood, they've known for a while that this could happen. So that kind of upsets me because I've heard that there's certain things they could have put in place years ago and nothing seems to have happened until it became a crisis, and that upsets me.
Okay, but what are you doing about the matter at hand? Are you conscious about saving electricity? I mean, no power, no future.
Yeah,
Well, not yeah.
we switch up our lights when you're not in the rooms and stuff.
Who does?
I do.
Oh, right.
If you would go back in time to change one thing about this electricity issue, what would it be?
Or go back in time and tell Eskom, yo, plan better.
Yeah,
exactly.
actually, this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, this is, hey guys, I've been 10 years in the future and this is what happens. Can you please try and make a plan?
Did you know that South Africa's energy demand is expected to be twice the current levels by 2030? And that South Africa is the 14th highest contributor of greenhouse gases? Taking all of that into consideration, here's what the spokesperson of Eskom had to say.
My name is Khulu Phasiwe. I'm the national spokesperson for Eskom.
The first question we would like to know is, can you please explain to us in detail what is load shedding and what are the causes of load shedding?
Well, load shedding happens when you have more demand than supply. For example, on a normal day, South Africa, especially in summer, you have a demand of about 29,000 megawatts. If for whatever reason we cannot meet that 29,000 megawatts, then you'll have some form of load shedding. But the reason why sometimes you have more demand than supply happens in two reasons, or in two ways. The first one of it is that if you have a breakdown on some of your generating units, then obviously you are unable to provide or meet the demand. Or if the demand itself grows and you are only providing for a specific amount, then obviously you'll have more demand than supply, and that's when the system will have to sort of change your plan and implement load shedding.
What do you think we can do to help Eskom to save all this electricity and not put it to waste?
Well, Eskom, together with the private sector, have a campaign called 49M. So 49M campaign essentially is aimed at informing the general population, but mostly companies, as to how we can use electricity efficiently. But we also have within Eskom a program called Integrated Demand Management, where we go to households and schools and places like that, where we inform people about some of the efficient ways of using electricity. Between 2010 and 2013, we have distributed just over 40 million of the energy efficient lights, or the CFLs. So, and this is part of our campaign to make sure that we not only preach, but we also do what we are preaching. And in an organization like Eskom, for example, as you look around this building, we have a parking area here which has solar panels, and inside we also have energy efficient systems that we've put in place, like on our escalators, for example. When you have no one on the escalator for maybe say for 5 minutes, then it sort of slowly reduces its speed because there's no one disembarking or going on.
And the main aim basically is to encourage South Africans to use electricity sparingly or efficiently. What happened was that in 2008 we had load shedding, and we then had IDM, which looks at teaching people about or retrofitting their houses with energy efficiency appliances. And then 49M is more on the behavioral side, on the human intervention, where we're teaching people to use less electricity. So instead of your old lights, we use CFLs, and cover your geyser blankets and switch off lights in rooms where you're not using it. We do sort of a lot of educational programs, and most of them are obviously we use Twitter, Facebook, and so forth.
Load shedding is put in place to help reduce the load of the power grid when there's an imbalance between the electricity available and the demand for electricity. Saving electricity will not only help you save money, but it will help reduce global warming and help with the power cuts that take place in South Africa, particularly in your neighborhood.
Hi, my name is Mike and I'm from Femto Electronics. Today we'll look at 4 methods on how to save power. The first method is a geyser timer module. What this timer module does is it switches off the geyser at a predetermined time. The user yourself will set this time according to your schedules. The second module is a energy control unit. This module will switch off your geyser when your stove is on. So if you have 1,000 homes using this module and you're saving about 1,000 watts of energy per home, you're saving Eskom 1 megawatts of energy. The third method is a movement detector sensor. This sensor basically detects whether there's been movement in a room for 10 minutes or more. If there's been no movement within that time span, the lights will switch off. This is basically used in office blocks, shopping malls, pathways, anywhere you could think of. The fourth method is a manual method of switching on and off your geyser. What you do is the same as the electronic geyser timer. You just basically switch off your geyser before you take showers or baths in the morning or evenings according to your schedule. As you know, it's summer and it gets really hot in South Africa, so it would be a wise thing to switch your geyser off in the day. Sometimes it might not be even worth switching it back on. It will be sufficient for a bath or 2 depending on your family size. So not only will this benefit Eskom, but it will benefit your electricity bill at the end of the month.
These are some of the ways that you can save energy around the house. Replace your conventional CFL bulbs with compact fluorescent lamps. Do not leave electronics on standby mode because it uses up to 50% of the power. Did you know that? And when it comes to saving power, rather shower and don't bath. And let there always be light.
No power, no future. BlackOut.